A charter city is a new city with new rules, with most governing and policy-making responsibilities devolved to the city level. Charter cities can jumpstart economic growth and spur institutional reform. Charter cities allow for rapid improvements in governance to attract investment, foster entrepreneurship, create jobs, and manage rapid urbanization. The Global South is urbanizing rapidly. Cities in Africa and Asia will add over 2 billion new residents by 2050 without the infrastructure or jobs to support these residents. New urban spaces are needed. Cities like Shenzhen, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Dubai each feature charter city-like elements and were transformed from poor to wealthy within 2 to 3 generations. There are also thousands of special economic zones and other unique jurisdictions worldwide that offer lessons for charter cities. Honduras has charter cities legislation, and at least 3 sizable projects are in development. There are dozens of new cities in development throughout Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America that partially meet the definition of a charter city. Governance and institutions are the primary determinants of long-run economic outcomes. However, these are not the only factors that determine what places become wealthy while others remain poor. A charter city's proximity to existing cities, industries, and transportation and trade infrastructure partially determines both opportunities available and investments needed for the new city. A larger geographic area under the jurisdiction of the charter city allows for greater expansion over time to accommodate more residents and economic activity. The large geographic size of China's special economic zones relative to that of most zones is one of several factors credited with their extraordinary economic success. Charter cities can have the greatest impact in countries that are rapidly urbanizing, helping to accommodate a surging urban population while being less impactful in countries where urbanization is largely complete. New opportunities and challenges are always emerging from economic growth in other countries and regions, from factors like technological innovation, climate change, and geopolitical cooperation and competition. These factors will shape the policies implemented and investment received in a charter city. For example, the economic profile of a charter city in Central America will differ from that of a charter city in West Africa or South Asia. Charter cities need anchor tenants, a large employer that attracts a substantial population in a short period of time while also generating linkages with suppliers and complementary industries. Anchor tenants can include a wide variety of activities, from manufacturing plants to logistics hubs to universities. The economy of a charter city is best served over time with a diverse economic base. Since 1980, over 800 million people have risen out of extreme poverty in China. Recreating even a fraction of this success is imperative for global development. Charter cities can help. In 1980, China declared 4 special economic zones, including at Shenzhen, across the border from Hong Kong. These zones inspired nationwide reform and drove record-breaking economic growth. In 1980, Shenzhen was a collection of fishing villages home to 100,000 people. Today it is a gleaming metropolis of over 20 million. How did this happen? Shenzhen was the site of a radical experiment in governance. Political authority over almost every policy area was devolved to local officials to figure out what worked best. Those officials pioneered China's first land and labor markets, relaxed price controls, and facilitated foreign investment. These policy experiments led to an economic boom that lifted millions out of poverty and inspired reform across all of China. Prior to 1980, China restricted migration to its cities. After the SEZs were formed, millions of people found work in cities like Shenzhen, and incomes rose dramatically. These new cities grew beyond all expectations as engines of economic opportunity. Similarly, rapid urbanization is underway in much of the Global South today, but without the corresponding economic opportunity. By capitalizing on rapid urbanization with deep institutional reforms, charter cities can generate prosperity for millions, just like China's expansive special economic zones have done over the past 4 decades. So what does this all mean? Charter cities can help rapidly urbanizing countries in the global south successfully manage urbanization while creating economic growth and improving governance. China lifted over 800 million people out of extreme poverty with reforms pioneered in special economic zones which enjoyed significantly devolved authority. New cities can recreate this success in rapidly urbanizing low-income countries today. The Charter Cities Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to building the ecosystem for charter cities by creating legal, regulatory, and planning frameworks, advising and convening key stakeholders including governments, new city developers, and multilateral institutions, and influencing the global agenda through research, engagement, and partnerships. Visit chartercitiesinstitute.org and follow us on Twitter for additional information and research about charter cities.